Hey everyone, welcome to the very
sixth
Ravioli Castioli. I'm Steve, joined by
Chuck.
And let's get on with the show.
Yeah.
There has been a resurgence in the Force.
There's been an awakening.
There's been an awakening. Or a reawakening. Because, as we all know, on March 30th, as of this recording was 2 days ago, there was a Final Fantasy 15 event.
They what was the
Uncovered Final Fantasy 15. A whole event dedicated to Final Fantasy 15.
It got out of its long sleep.
Mm-hmm.
It covered itself. And
It's been uncovered by the covers.
Now it's 6 months of its getting out of bed.
Yes. And as we all know, Final Fantasy 15 has been my most anticipated game of all time for a good 10 years now. And everybody who's been excited for this game, whether it's been for the past 10 years like me, or you just found out about it, this is a big deal because they never talk about this game up until like this year or a little bit last year. And now...
Or every 10 E3s.
And they fucking announced... They dropped like a nuke on us full of announcements.
Yeah, there was a lot of announcements. That was crazy.
So let's go on with the announcements.
I expected
a couple trailers, like maybe some new gameplay, and then the release date. What they announced... which we will get into.
It was pretty cool.
Is fucking awesome.
I gotta admit, it was pretty cool.
It was sick AF.
So how long did that take? Now it's ready to start. Like 15 minutes? Something like that? It's a while.
I don't know.
We were just installing the game on the Xbox One. And
yeah, PS4 installs games way quicker.
Yeah. Ready to play quicker.
Alright, so let's go on with the event recap.
Okay.
You can't look. You can't see.
Did you write it down as you were watching? Or
no, I just did a recap today.
You remembered it, or you watched?
No, I watched it again.
The whole thing.
I skipped through it.
Oh, okay.
All right. So the first thing they announced isn't like a big deal, but it is very cool because we never really seen this much of the engine really up until this point. They released a new trailer called "The World of Wonder" and environment footage, where they just kind of you saw it. They kind of show off the graphics.
It was very pretty.
Yes, there was this one in the beginning. They show like the skyline. And I was like, is that real?
Of the city?
Yeah. It looks real.
The car stuff was real, too. I guess they worked with Audi.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, they showed that. It's really beautiful. It looks awesome. So check it out. And then the first big bombshell that made my jaw drop. Oh, by the way, we did a live stream of the event with live reactions and everything. So if you want, you can go check that out. If you haven't seen the Uncovered event. I haven't been able to find a full version of it myself. That's like fully HD. So... if you want to watch it, you can. The first thing they announced that was like a huge what the fuck moment, what are they doing, was they announced an anime series for Final Fantasy 15. And it's called Brotherhood Final Fantasy 15. And I think it takes place before the game.
Yeah, it's a prequel.
Or like within the game.
I think it's a prequel.
Yeah, I think it's before the game. And it's 5 episodes, 1 episode per month, up and following the release date, like coming up to it. And then the first episode's out now. Yeah. And I watched it.
It was available 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
During the show.
It is currently available to watch.
No one watched it during the show because Greg Miller told him not to.
Well, because it wasn't available during the show.
Oh, wasn't it?
We checked on YouTube. It wasn't there.
Oh.
The Final Fantasy 15 YouTube page uploaded it.
The demo wasn't up until later on the night either.
Which we'll get to.
They lied.
But yeah, episode 1 is up now, and it's really good. It's really cool. It's awesome seeing, it's pretty much the game in anime form. It's not
watch it?
I did.
How long is it?
It's 11 minutes.
Okay.
It's not like an anime that just happens to be about Final Fantasy 15. It's like literally the game. Like there's things they do in the series that's like it's ripped from the game. Like there's this one part where Prompto is like on the ground and one of these soldiers is gonna hit him, and then knocks out the soldier, and they do this thing where they bump arms and they're like, oh, thanks for the help. That's exactly what they do in the game.
I was reading something about it, like a recap of the episode, I guess, and the one thing people noticed was just based on game footage, like you could tell that they like adapted it into an anime because like things are slower because like teleporting is more of a major thing in the anime. Yeah. It's like a thing that you have to like visually be impressed by, but in the game it's just like you have to flow like back and forth. Every time you teleport, I can't like zoom in on him. It's like he's getting ready. Yeah. You know what I mean? So is that how did it come off like that? Like was it like could you tell like it wasn't like a straight up they just drew over the game. It was like
well, yeah. Well,
like the difference.
Well, there's this one part where the one of the soldiers is going to swing at Noctis, and he teleports right through him. It's really quick too. But there's another part that is like ripped right from the game where the soldier is coming up behind Noctis, and Noctis puts his arm up like he's doing like the defense mode, and he swerves out to the side with like this like after image, and then he just knocks the guy out. That's right. Cool. That's right from the game too. It's fucking awesome. That's cool. It's so cool.
I like the fact that they're being true to the source material.
Yeah, like really true to it. It's really awesome. Like I can't stress enough how this event was so cool. The next thing they announced, another what the fuck moment, was a CG movie called Kingsglaive with voices of Lena Headey,
Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, from Game of Thrones. Sean Bean from a lot of things, and Aaron Paul, notably from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And who plays Jesse. And when they showed this trailer, at first I was like, is this real?
Yeah.
Like, dude, the CG looks incredible.
Then is that the game? And then it's like, no, it's freaking, they're Advent Children all over again.
Yeah. Dude, the CG is ridiculous. It looks so awesome. And the trailer, like, the movie looks really cool too.
Yeah.
Apparently the movie takes place, I think it's alongside of the game. I know it's not a prequel because the dad, King Regis, is an old man in this, and he's an old man during the game too.
Okay, so what I didn't understand is, and I didn't do too much research into it, but are the characters in the movie are in the game as well?
I don't know about the character that Aaron Paul's playing, but King Regis, who is Noctis' dad,
and Luna
is in the game, and Luna is in the game as well as Noctis' love interest.
But they're played by different actors in the game.
I don't know.
Right, so
they haven't revealed. Wait. I think it's the same actors because in the tech demo, which we will talk about later, you hear Noctis' dad speak, and I'm pretty sure it's Sean Bean.
I mean, because Sean Bean has been in games before. He was in, did you play Oblivion?
I have.
He was Martin. He was the son
I didn't play it that much.
Oh, well, the king asks you to go find his son in the beginning. You've played past the sewer part, right?
Yeah.
You're in the sewers in the beginning, and the king asks you to help find his son because he dead. The king is Patrick Stewart. You know Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, of course.
And his son, who you're supposed to find, is played by Sean Bean. He's a major character in the game.
Shit, dude. Sean Bean?
So Sean Bean's no stranger to video games.
Yeah, dude. He ain't no stranger.
There's actually a lot of, like, if you look, there's a lot of, cool, voice actors, like, in video games. Like, did you ever watch the show Being Human with the vampires and the werewolves?
No, but I know that the one dude is Starkiller from
that's what I was going to say.
And that guy also plays in the movie The Mist by Stephen King.
And here, another fun fact, did you ever see the movie or the show Constantine when it was on? Did you ever hear of it? You've heard of it.
I've heard of it. I wanted to watch it. I saw the movie with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, well, this is a TV show, and it crossed over with Arrow at one point.
Yeah.
The guy who plays Constantine is the voice of Edward Kenway in Black Flag.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So it was a really cool moment. I was like, man, I wish I watched that show.
That's awesome.
Great episode of Arrow, by the way. Really good episode. But anyway, continue.
So yeah, CG movie. Really cool. And this is where the EU takes a break from the stage. So I want to say that I think it's fucking awesome because one of the things that I noticed while this whole development process has been going on was that this game is very Final Fantasy VII-esque.
Yeah. In
terms of like the way it's made, like in terms of the hype and how they're trying like new things, because Final Fantasy VII was like the new thing for Final Fantasy when that came out. But Final Fantasy VII came out in 1997, and then 10 years later, they start releasing all this EU stuff. They released an anime series called, I think it's called Before Crisis, which follows Zack as he tries to rescue Cloud from Soldier. You didn't know anything I just said.
I mean, I get the gist. I got to a sewer part in Final Fantasy VII, I think. And it's like 30 minutes into it. Turn-based is not my style.
Yeah. Advent Children. Mm-hmm. They also released a mobile game for Final Fantasy VII.
Same with this.
Yeah, which we will get to in a second. So it's so cool how Final Fantasy 15 is having all this stuff happening while the game is being while it's coming out.
Right.
It's still happening before.
They're anticipating the popularity.
Yes.
I think what's really cool.
But they need to do that for a very special reason that I will get to, which is kind of scary in a way.
Okay. Well, see, what I think is really cool is, and maybe you'll probably play into this later with that scary thing, but I think it's neat that maybe they're trying to make it popular. Like, they know that this has to succeed.
Yeah.
But it's cool that they're taking this game that has been developed for 10 years and they're putting so much effort into making it interesting and special. You know what I mean? Like, it's
that's
not...
that's
like,
awesome.
It would have been easy to just let them finish development on Versus 13 and have it just get put out there or stop development. But no, they're making it into Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
They're putting out an anime series, a movie. That must cost them a lot of money. I mean,
you can definitely tell a lot of heart went into making this.
Yeah.
They cared a lot about this.
A lot of money.
A lot of money too, yeah. So yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing they announced, moving on. A Final Fantasy 15 car. There's one model being made. It's the same model as, I think it's called the Regala in the game. Holy shit. It's a pretty car.
Did they say how much it costs?
They didn't. Or if they did, I wasn't listening because I was too busy freaking out about it, but it's expensive.
Yeah,
you can definitely guess.
See, I have to wonder.
Because Joey, Soup, who was watching the stream with me, he's a huge car fanatic. So he knows what it is. He knows they're expensive.
He knew exactly what it was.
Yeah, he knew what kind of model. I don't remember what it was, but he does.
It'd be interesting to see what the purchasing process would be like. Like, how do you get in contact with them to potentially buy that car?
Maybe they made it for them to be like, we made a game. We made a car for this game.
You'd have to think that if they were announcing it, they would sell it. But like, do you have to like email like their PR person to like verify your credentials before you can actually talk to them about it? Yeah. Like, I'd be interested to see how far you can get without actually having that much money. It's like Kickstarter. Like, you can donate as much as you want. It's just that once the campaign is over, if your car gets declined, they lose $10,000. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that would be interesting. Like, oh yeah, I want that car, and they have it's all set to send to you. It's like, I don't actually have $10,000. I was just fucking with you. Yeah, that'd be really bad. Can I still get it though? That'd be cool.
You can send me that car. Yeah. I was the only one who had the balls enough to ask you if I could buy it. Moving on. I just want to get through this because I could talk for hours about this, and you have a huge list.
It's not going to take that long.
Next thing they announced was a mobile game called Justice Monsters 5, which you can play this in game.
It's a dumb name.
During Final Fantasy 15, you can play as a mini game, and it's like a pinball machine. But there's a mobile game for iOS, Windows 10, and Android.
Did that come out already?
I don't think it's out yet.
Okay.
Or if it is, this is news to me. Right. As of this recording, April 1st, April Fool's Day. Fuck.
No, April 2nd.
Yeah, it's currently 12:07 a.m.
It's a late podcast.
Yeah, cool. It's because we gamers, we stay up late.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks really cool. I don't really know. On the iOS thing that they showed, like the mobile app, it doesn't really look like pinball. It looks like balls that like bounce. I don't really know what the fuck's going on. Yeah. It's just like balls are bouncing around, hitting these like monster pictures, and then like a boss will come like, and then you get like points. It looks like
a boss.
Yeah, it looks like it passed a lot of time, and I think it's free, so that's cool.
Probably in-app purchases though.
Yeah.
I'd imagine. Yeah, I think you can buy like live or something in the game.
Yeah, if they treat it like Fallout Shelter, that would be cool. Which they probably will.
I didn't get too much into. I didn't really get into very much, but it's a cool idea.
I did for a while, and then I kind of dropped off.
Yeah.
Next thing they announced, which I knew was coming, new tech demo.
Oh, okay. I thought you were right.
They, Hajime Tabata in just like a random presentation, not like a huge one, at like some sort of like weird conference, he announced that there's going to be a new tech demo announced, and it's going to follow Noctis as a kid. And then he didn't go any further than that. Mm-hmm. And then you find out in this that it is a very unique form of a tech demo, and that you do play as Noctis as a child, play as little baby Noctis, and he's very cute and super anime. Yeah. He's so kawaii desu.
Just like that.
He does that. And you get a super kawaii desu fox.
Named,
in the demo and on the stage, it's named Carbuncle. But once you beat the demo,
why would you want to change that name? It's a good name.
I changed it.
Carbuncle. What did you change it to?
I'm not telling you because you're gonna laugh at me.
What is it?
No, it's super. What is it? It's super weedy.
Come on.
I named it Kurama because of Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh, yeah.
And that means fox.
Is it the red hair guy?
Yeah. It means fox.
That's fine.
But once you beat the demo, you can rename it, and then it transfers over to the actual game, so you can get them. Yeah. It's really cool. But in the tech demo, you play as little baby Noctis in a dreamscape. It's very surreal. Like there's a lot of weird stuff going on. It's ripped straight from Kingdom Hearts, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, it reminded me of the Wonderland.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, because you, especially on the second stage, I guess, you are wandering around this giant room while you're tiny,
Yeah,
and everything else is gigantic.
That's literally what it reminded me of.
Yeah, like you have these giant blocks, you have these giant books.
I remember hating that level in Kingdom Hearts.
Dude, fuck that level.
That one was terrible.
Fuck that level. But in the tech demo, there's these pressure plates.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, for example, there would be a plate that has, like, the weather on it. And if you step on it, the weather will change. So you can, like, see the different, like, statuses of the game. It's really cool. Like the day will change and you can see, like, how the lighting works.
Yeah.
It's really neat. And it's, like, fucking awesome. And what you do throughout the demo is you collect these crystals. There's, like, these yellow crystals. And the more you get, you unlock different tiers of
the
plates.
Yeah.
So, like, if you get, like, 50 and, like, emeralds or crystals, crystals, you unlock silver plates and you can start, and you get, like, gifts, so you can unlock weapons. And then once you get enough, you unlock gold plates and you unlock more stuff. Like, you get these crazy spells. It's kid version of the spells. Like, for example, you can get all the spells. I don't know about all the spells in the game, but you get, like, a big amount. You can get thunder, fire, meteor, and this weird rain spell, which is like a bunch of blue light comes from the sky. But it's all in kid form. Like, for example, if you throw the fire spell, like, it's fireworks. It's not like a burst. It's not like a thing of fire.
Now, here's something that, me being a Final Fantasy noob, fire, thunder, is that all? They sound very similar to the stuff from Kingdom Hearts.
Yes.
Kingdom Hearts took it from Final Fantasy. Mm-hmm. So those are the names of the spells in the original Final Fantasy.
Thunder, fire, and then you upgrade them and you get fire, thunder, thunder.
So that's how it works in Final Fantasy and in Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts just took that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another cool thing about this demo, which made me freak out, because I didn't think it would. First of all, you can fight in the demo. You use toy weapons to fight these, like, weird shadow things.
But you can also turn into adult Noctis, can't you?
That's what I'm getting to. I didn't know you could do that. I thought the tech demo, when it was first announced, because the last active time report before the conference, which is in, like, January, they said there was going to be another demo that's free for everyone. And everybody on the subreddit was talking about how it's going to be what they showed at TGS, which is just Noctis walking around this, like, courtyard, and you can, like, and it would probably have, like, finished combat. And then and I was really excited for it. But then once Hajime Tabata said that it was going to be Noctis as a kid, I was like, what the fuck? I want to play the finished combat. And you get to the end of the demo and you transform into adult Noctis, and you fight this giant, like, knight with, like, a huge sword. It's fucking awesome.
And then everything unlocked as a kid.
Well, no, you lose some things. Like, for example, you only get one spell, which is fire. You get the 2 weapons, but you can find 2 more weapons. They're hidden in the level. You can unlock the shuriken. It's fucking awesome. And you unlock a shield with it. It's really cool. So that made me freak out because it's the finished combat. Like, you attack like normal, but they also incorporated the finished aerial combat, which is awesome because you can jump. And fighting in the air wastes your MP, but what happens is you can jump in the air, and then once you start attacking, and you just teleport towards the guy, and you start wailing on him, and then you can just, like, dodge throughout in the air while he's trying to hit you, which sounds like it'd be easy combat, but the guy can, like, fuck you up if you're not paying attention. Yeah. It's really cool.
It's not like Airdrop and Castle Crashers.
No, it's really awesome, and it's like, holy shit. Again, I've said it many times before, this is, like, everything I wanted this game to be. I haven't been disappointed yet. They haven't shown anything that made me be like, I don't know about that. It's so awesome all the time. Right
from your subconscious.
But one thing I will say about the new gameplay is that I'm not really digging the control scheme.
No? What's the control scheme?
Like, in the episode Do Sky demo, X was your warp strike, circle jumped, which was comfortable for me because circles jump in Kingdom Hearts.
Right.
Square attacked, triangle was your, like, special moves, and L1 got into your defense mode so you can dodge, and R1 locked on. In this game, you lock on automatically, and if you click in the stick, you get, like, a hard lock on, so the camera follows them.
Right.
Circle.
That's similar to Witcher.
Yeah, circle attacks, square defends, L1 doesn't do anything, R1 doesn't do anything. In fact, none of the shoulder buttons do anything. And if you're not holding down square to defend, square also does a dodge roll. In episode Do Sky, you would have to hold down L1 and then hit square, I think.
It's hard to visualize, but a couple of things say that I don't think I'd like it either. Like, I think The Witcher has the same lock-on scheme where you're focused on one enemy at a time, and if you click a certain button, you can be locked onto them. I don't like it.
Yeah, and also triangle warp strikes now. It's very hard to get used to, especially because in episode Do Sky, switching from attacking to defending was very quick.
Right.
In this, it's not as fast because you could go from hitting circle to L1 immediately. In this, you have to like switch, and just that split second makes it kind of awkward. Yeah. So hopefully in the final game, you can like fuck with the controls. I hope that would be the case. But if not, like it's something to just get used to. It's not a game breaker though.
Yeah. Totally worth playing. It's good. It's still good that you are not letting hype overwhelm all of your senses.
I went into this with an open mind. I'm like, this could totally be bad. Yeah. But it wasn't.
Yeah. And I mean, like, honestly, if it was bad, you probably will be giving it a little benefit of the doubt just because of your history with it, but you're still willing to go in and say, well, that didn't work for me. It's not like, no, it's their vision. I just don't get it yet.
Yeah. Like, I can get used to it. Like I said, it's not a game breaker, but it is something I'm not really digging at the moment. So that's the tech demo. Next thing they announced was the collector's editions, which is they announced the deluxe edition, which comes with a steelbook case, the game, and the Kingsglaive movie, and it's $90. Mm-hmm. And the steelbook, like we talked about like 4 podcasts ago, it looks awesome. Like it does look cool. Like box art is the box art is very
it was the all the summons, wasn't it?
It's like 2 of them.
Oh,
it's like no, because there's a back and a front, so I think it is all of them. And it's like, it's very, very like, it looks like a painting. It looks so nice.
The way it looked to me is it looked like they had a moment in the demo when they go into the painting. Yeah. And that becomes the logo. It looked to me like the logo, like behind the logo. That's what it kind of looked like to me. Is it like that or no?
I think so. It is.
It looked like that with that painting.
Yeah, like all the swirling and all the summons. I think it's that. I will post a picture right there. So that's the deluxe edition. Oh, and you also get a new costume. You get Noctis's like dress clothes, so he's like wearing a very dashing suit.
Dapper.
You get a new weapon. It's like a katana that's like golden. It's cool looking. And I think you can get a paint job for your car. So it's like platinum instead of black.
Nice. I don't like black. I don't like platinum.
Platinum.
Fucking
whatever.
It's fucking car. Yeah, I can see.
You also get
on your list.
You also get the Ultimate Collector's Edition. Oh, God. This is the big one. There's only 30,000 of these being made. Comes with a steelbook case, different from the deluxe edition. This is it's a custom, it's a very unique OG steelbook case. Comes with an action figure of Noctis.
I thought it was a statue.
It's an action figure. Oh, okay. It's a Play Arts action figure.
Interesting.
It can articulate.
I was literally about to ask, does every game come with a statue nowadays? But
not every game comes with an action figure.
I feel like, well, not really many games come with action figures. Exactly. I feel like every game has a collection system with a statue.
Yeah, everyone does now. Comes with soundtrack.
Nice.
Which
I'm big.
The soundtrack in the demo.
I'm cool with every game coming with soundtrack.
Yeah. Especially Final Fantasy games.
Side note: The Witcher actually comes with it's like the coolest fucking. It's a standard retail thing. It comes with a
map. Yeah.
It comes with a map. It comes with a thank you note from the developers. It comes with. I mean, there's like 15 free updates that they released when the game came out, and it comes with a soundtrack and right below it. It's fucking awesome.
It's fucking sick.
You open it up and you're like, this is I like you. Please make more games.
More games should come out with that.
Absolutely.
This also comes with an art book. I believe it's 197 pages, if memory serves. Very cool.
That's really cool.
Because if there's one thing Final Fantasy always nails, it's the art style.
Absolutely.
Very beautiful games. And it also comes with everything else that the other edition comes with. So it comes with the game, comes with all the in-game stuff. I think it comes with more stuff. I think it comes with like a camera pack. I don't even know what that means. Because in the game, Prompto takes pictures. Every game now.
You get extra film for his camera if you buy the deluxe edition.
You get like super special film.
It's like Firewatch.
It's rare film.
Yeah, you find an extra film cartridge somewhere.
Every game nowadays comes with a photo mode.
So if you can print it out and get it sent to you,
But the deal breaker for this edition is that it's $270.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was $300 even, but $270.
$270. It's very expensive.
You know what I was when they announced it, I knew it was going to cost that much, and I was going to say something new. I was going to say, dude, just buy a fucking Xbox One if you're going to spend that much money. Just get another system.
No, that's what I was thinking. Because as soon as I saw the price, I was thinking, all right, most games that come with like a statue, comes with all this stuff, about $150.
Right. That's what
I was like, $150, no problem. But then I saw it. By the way, it's not one of those things where like, oh, I'll just pre-order it on Amazon, save the money, and it'll be fine. This is a Square Enix exclusive.
And I'm assuming you pay up front.
Your pre-order is you pay for it, and then it gets to you when it's
especially in this limited edition. They don't want
only 30,000.
Yeah.
So that was a huge blow to the heart. I was like, no, I can't get it now. And I thought the same exact thing. It was like, for that price, might as well just get another fucking game system, dude.
Buy a Wii U or an Xbox One or put money away for Oculus or something.
Yeah, right? So it does come with a lot of amazing stuff, but to me, even though how much I love Final Fantasy 15, it's not $300 worthy. And then the second to last thing they announced, is very cool.
You can say the last thing. You can say the last thing right now.
No, I'm gonna say it because I'm just gonna say it in the order that it was announced.
Okay.
They then go on to announce the release date of the game.
Right.
Which,
what do you think?
Love it.
The release date's good for you?
Yeah.
Prefer it to summer release?
I think I expressed this last podcast.
Yeah.
Last podcast, we talked about the rumor and how it was September 30th. And I said, I don't think it's coming out then. Purely because it's on a Friday. But
maybe Japanese makers are going with that trend now?
Yeah, maybe. I didn't mind it coming out on a Friday. I thought it was cool. I just didn't think it was real. Turns out it's very real. But they teased the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
During the presentation, they had like the roulette wheels going.
Yeah.
And then it was like 2016. And then it was like 30. And I was like, oh, dude, the rumors were true. And it says November. And I was like, oh, what? And then it goes back to September. And it was like, what are they doing?
I guarantee you that roulette stopped in September when they were planning it out. And then the rumors came out.
And they're like, fuck, it got leaked.
We got to trick them.
Yeah, it was like, it tricked me. I was like, what?
I mean, because were a lot of the rumors true? Or was it like...
There was like no rumors. The only rumors were the tech demo. The tech demo got leaked.
Well, he announced
the trailer that they showed at the conference got leaked, which I only watched like 30 seconds because I was like, I was like, is this really true? And then I didn't even watch 30 seconds. I think I got like 5 seconds and it's like, oh, I don't want to be spoiled. It's tonight. I can wait. So then I turned it off. And the trailer of the artwork in the beginning where they showed all the summons, that got leaked too. I watched that. It was very cool. And the release date got leaked. Everything else, the anime series and the movie, the car, the mobile game, they were all under wraps.
They kept reiterating
covered,
that.
If you will.
They kept reiterating that on stage. Like, this didn't get leaked. I think Greg Miller and Tim Geddes.
Kind of funny games.
Yeah. They were like, side note, they're a part of Rooster Teeth now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They said that on the latest podcast.
Are they a part of Rooster Teeth or are they just partnered with them?
I think they're just partnering with them.
But they're releasing content through Let's Play channel now, which Let's Play has become like a conglomeration of Achievement Hunter, Funhouse, Screw Attack, and kind of funny games. Like I'm totally seeing in the future like other channels joining them, like Game Grumps having stuff on there, and I know Nerdist, the guy who does Nerdist, was on the latest podcast, him having stuff on there, and maybe the guys you listen to, what are they? The podcast you listen to?
Sleepy Cabin?
Yeah.
They wouldn't be on there.
No?
No, they're inappropriate people. They're not gamers. They're animators.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. I thought they were both or something. All right, never mind.
So yeah, they announced the release date. They tricked everyone, but I'm really digging the release date because it gives me plenty of time to play Persona 5, and then Final Fantasy 15 comes out.
And it's gonna in a good spot too.
Yes.
Like
September 30th is like the perfect spot.
I don't know what's coming out this fall. I'm assuming we'll hear more about that kind of stuff at E3. But if I do pick this up, I mean, it'll have to go into my list of games. But if in a ideal world,
this should make its way to the top.
Yeah, in an ideal world. Well, see, what I do is I'll put the games in the list, and I have like a set couple ones, and then I keep randomizing the rest, and I keep randomizing it until I get a game near the top that I kind of want to play.
That's cheating.
Well, no, but I lock in everything else after that. So like I got The Witcher 3 right after Life is Strange. So that's great. I want to play The Witcher 3. It's a newer game, and then the one after that is like Starbound or Pokemon or something, and it's like I can deal with that. So I'll probably wait until like Quantum Break or Dark Souls 3 or Final Fantasy 15 comes to the top, and then I'll play like a few older games after that. You know what I mean? Like back and forth. So it'll get played eventually. Probably sooner than later.
Yeah. There is one more announcement.
Yeah.
Chuckster.
It's not really an announcement. It
wasn't shown. It was shown.
Yeah.
After they announced the release date, they showed one final trailer, and at the end of this trailer, you find out the car can fly.
Yeah.
The car transforms into a fucking plane, and it was so awesome. Because everybody, right before this event, they announced that airships have been incorporated. They figured out what they're doing with that. And everyone's like, how? Mm. What are they going to do? The car fucking transforms into a plane. It's so fucking awesome. That made my jaw hit the floor. It was awesome.
I feel like I have after everything you say, I'm like, well, what about this? So is it going to be seamless? Like, is it going to be... So I wonder how it's going to work. Like, is it going to be you're driving on the road and you can just turn it into an airplane?
Judging by what they showed in the trailer, I'm guessing.
That's trailer.
I mean, like, if it's an open...
It wasn't gameplay. But, see, sometimes...
No, I think that was in-game.
Was it in-game?
What they were doing, I think they were driving and then they transformed.
Okay. I can see that. But, sometimes like you can do that, but is there going to be a lot to do? Is it going to be for particular sections, or are you going to be able to fly up in the sky and just fight airships at any time? You know what I mean?
Well, I know you can board airships, so I can maybe some speculation here. You can fly in the air, and then you can get like next to the airships, and then Noctis like will throw the sword and teleport into the airships.
I wonder how far you can throw that sword. That'd be really cool. It's just like Noctis is like, it's like, you know what, guys? I want to see where I'm going to end up today. And just tosses the sword away.
In the game, in the tech demo, when you're fighting in this, like, it's called the Citadel. There's like a runway. It's pretty damn long. And then you have the circle, which you fight. Mm-hmm. And then you have the steps leading up to the castle. You can go from the beginning of the runway and throw your sword all the way to the castle.
That's pretty cool.
And attach yourself to the wall.
That's nice. That's neat.
So you can go pretty damn far.
People are going to be beating the game in like 3 hours because of that.
And those are all the announcements.
Okay. And I mean, clearly you're excited about it.
The event, some closing thoughts, was so fucking cool and so emotional for me, dude. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna lie. When the roulette wheel was spinning for the release date, I almost like started crying because like you can see it in the live stream. Like my face has like a permanent smile, yeah. And then I remember sitting there being like, oh my god, what is coming? And then I could feel the tears, like, oh my god.
Joey's
it's
right
like,
here. He's gonna think I'm so lame.
Because it's one of those moments. No, like everybody in my situation understands. It's like it's one of those moments. This whole game, the whole development cycle for this game has been like, this game's probably never coming out, dude. No, it looks so cool, and we're probably never going to play it. And then they started showing more information. It's like, yeah, it's coming out, but to actually see the release date, we waited for so long. 10 years we waited for this, and to finally see it, it's like, yes.
I can sympathize. There was something recently
so cool.
that I felt like I had that with. I can't remember what it was, but I mean, like I've known projects that like Deadpool was a thing that was in development for like 6 or 7 years, and I remember hearing about it when Wolverine came out.
Yeah.
Something else too. Just recently. I mean, Star Wars is like the perfect example.
Yeah. The Force Awakens, right?
Just rumored for years, and you finally get the trailer, and you're like, oh my God,
yeah. It's
Christmas.
like
Tuesday comes on Tuesday.
Yeah. It's.
Dude. I was debating. I have a pre-order on Amazon. I was debating. Stopping at Target in the morning before I went to school that day because I have a midterm in the afternoon. I don't usually go to school on Tuesdays, and grabbing it at Target, canceling my Amazon pre-order, and taking it to school and watching it before my midterm. But I was like, I'm just gonna get it on Amazon. I don't want to have to go to Target. I don't want to deal with it. But
another thing about this conference is like, I did not, like we said in the beginning, I did not expect this.
Yeah.
Like. Because
I mean, you said it yourself. Yeah. You're like, how long is this going to be? I thought it was going to be like maybe an hour. Or less.
It's like because as somebody who's been excited for this game for so long, I've been kind of because since nobody that I talk to really matches my excitement. To me, it's like this game is pretty small. And, like nobody knows what it is.
Yeah.
Nobody like knows Final Fantasy 15. Nobody's excited for this game. The reason why nobody is excited as I am is because they don't know about it like I do. And then they start announcing all this shit. It's like this event. It wasn't just like some tiny announcement party. This was like a huge deal. And it was so cool.
It's always been a big deal. It's just there's never any information, so it's never covered. You know what I mean? Like no one's ever like, where in the world is Final Fantasy 15?
Exactly. So to see all this stuff, it's like, yes, is this like everything I wanted and more?
Yeah.
It's like I'm gladly welcoming an anime series about this game. I'm gladly welcoming a fucking movie about this game.
Yeah.
I'm gladly welcoming a tech demo that they released the night of the conference. Yeah. Like, what the fuck, dude? Square Enix knows they know they have to sell a lot, and they're making sure they do.
They took every single conference trope of like the last 10 years and they put it in there.
They made it amazing.
It's available.
It was so good.
It's available, and everyone in the audience goes tonight, and they go tonight.
Yeah, because everyone knows.
Yeah.
But it's so awesome. It's like I can't stress it enough. For someone who's been waiting so long, it's like the perfect treat. It's like they're like, we know you've been waiting for so long. Here's a bunch of presents thanks for waiting. It's like, it's so cool.
There's a couple companies who know how to pull off an announcement. And like just not even being really invested in anything but Kingdom Hearts. And even then it's like, I played 2 of the games. I never even finished the second one. Yeah. And it's an important part of my gaming history, but it's like, I'm not too invested in it. But Square Enix knows how to pull off a fucking conference. Like the Final Fantasy VII reveal, like you got excited for that. Or the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers they showed and this. It's like them and Bethesda. They know how to pull off a fucking reveal.
Last E3,
Fallout 4.
Yeah. That was great.
You didn't even end up getting it. Like you had after like a month, you were like, I'm not actually really excited for this game.
Yeah, but when they announced it, I was like, they got me. They fucking did it. But like, And when they announced Final Fantasy VII Remake, I used to be a part of an old group where we used to have a live stream and reactions. And when they showed the like remake, I knew it immediately because you could see the live stream, and I was like, I know what that is, and I got like goosebumps, dude. I was like, oh. And
now you're like, nah.
No, I'm not like nah. I'm still pumped for the Final Fantasy VII Remake, dude. Nah. They showed gameplay for it. It looks great, but dude. But Final Fantasy 15, nothing can quell my excitement.
What did you say you were scared about, though?
Well, it's not. I'm not scared about it. It's scary for Square Enix. Hajime Tabata has said post show and like interviews and stuff that their goal and what they pretty much have to sell in order to make profit is 10 million copies sold. That's a lot of copies. No Final Fantasy game has made that many copies since Final Fantasy 7. That is a lot of copies to sell. That's why it's so scary. But I think, honestly, I think they can do it.
The marketing is going to go from 0 to 60 from here on out. I
think they can do it because Final Fantasy fans have been like, I don't know about this game. They're changing it. It's not turn-based. I don't want it. But I feel like with this event, they've shown that they like care about the series still. Like they said many times that like we feel like Final Fantasy has lost its way. Final Fantasy has always been about groundbreaking games. Always pushing the envelope, always making them more beautiful, always making the gameplay more awesome, always switching it up and trying to make it new. And we kind of deviated from that. But we want 15 to be like the new research of Final Fantasy. Yeah. And I think everybody can like feel that.
Yeah.
I feel like Final Fantasy fans and non-Final Fantasy fans alike are all going to be pumped for this game. Purely just because it looks fucking awesome.
It does look
pretty cool. Looks really cool. It looks really Final Fantasy games, non-Final Fantasy games, like people who like anime, people who like action games, like I think it appeals to like everyone, and they're doing a really good job of doing it. Even like the mixture of like cultures, the whole game is mixed between Western and like Eastern culture. The whole game is like a mix between like old technology and future technology. It's like it's fucking. They're pulling out all the stops to make sure this game sells really well, and I think they're going to be able to do it. It looks great.
Maybe.
I hope they can, because if not, the console market and Square Enix are going to go. In Japan.
No,
the console market in Japan is already really shaky.
They got
Persona 5 is the only thing that can save it. Final Fantasy 15 can't.
They got Final Fantasy 7 coming out. They got Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out.
But nobody knows when they're coming out, though.
They're gonna be fine. Especially since Final Fantasy 7 is gonna be episodic. It's gonna be like it's not gonna be too long. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't announce it when it was going into production, so it might be a little while, but it's gonna be. I think we're going to see it sooner rather than later.
True.
Like, maybe this E3 will get a release date for it. I could see that. Did they announce it at E3 last year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah,
I think this E3 we're going to get a release date for Kingdom Hearts 3. Because they know the release date, they just can't talk about it.
Yeah.
Fucking assholes.
They don't know the release date. They're just saying that. They're saying they know when they think they're going to release it. They don't actually know. So.
But yeah, that was the Final Fantasy 15 Uncovered event. I am beyond pleased.
You talking about it was almost as long as the event itself.
Yeah. 40 minutes. I told you I could talk hours about this shit, dude. Yeah. I'm so excited. If you've been waiting as long as I have, and even if you haven't, if you just want to talk about the game and if you're excited for it, leave your comments down below.
Yeah.
And let us know what you think, because, like I said before, I love talking about this stuff. Yeah. It's so awesome. I go on the subreddit all the time just to talk about it. Oh, I'm so pumped.
Everyone there is excited about it too?
Yeah, everyone on the subreddit, just like I talked about with the Bloodborne subreddit, everyone on the Final Fantasy 15 subreddit is very friendly and awesome. They just love talking about the game. It's great.
Cool. Yeah, it's a good inclusive community.
Yeah. It's very awesome. I'm super excited. But let's stop talking about that and talk about you have a list of things.
I just had stuff that was cool.
I'm thinking it's awesome. We have shit to talk about.
Yeah.
I just think it's impressive. Go.
Okay,
your list.
So I have a couple things on here. I guess we can hit some of the highlights first. I mean, we talked about before the show, Games with Gold this fucking month. It's awesome.
Yeah, holy shit.
If you have an Xbox Live Gold membership, it is Wolf Among Us for Xbox One and Dead Space for Xbox 360, which doesn't really even matter anymore. It doesn't, because everything's backwards compatible now that they release on Games with Gold. And then the second half of the month is Sunset Overdrive and Saints Row 4, which I've been pumped to play both of them. I'm a huge Insomniac fan. I don't even have a PS4, and I am like...
Did you pre-order the new Ratchet & Clank?
I am considering getting it when it comes out. I am considering it because that's just a huge part of my fucking childhood.
Dude, same. I remember when we were growing up, By the way, we've been best friends since 2nd grade.
Yeah.
We grew up together. We play Ratchet and Clank all the time.
Oh my god, all three of them. Going Command Up Your Arsenal. It's just fucking, they're good games. I never played like the PS3 trilogy, and even the movie's coming out next month. Do you know that?
I know it's coming out next month.
Yeah,
I knew there's a movie
coming out.
Though.
It's coming out like 2 weeks after the game comes out.
That's awesome.
Because the movie is based on the first game.
Yeah.
It's a reimagining of it.
The game is
based on the movie, which is based on the game. So I wonder if they're going to do like a whole series. They're going to do like a remakes. Like Ratchet and Clank 2 is going to be Going Commando, which I don't remember.
Arsenal.
Fucking, I want Dr. Nefarious in goddamn movie. That'd be awesome. So yeah, Insomniac, great. I hear good things about Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah,
it looks like
I've heard mixed things.
Yeah,
but it looks like a fun game. It's a game that's definitely based on momentum. I heard it's really fun once you get that going, but as soon as your momentum dies, it's like a Sonic game. Okay. It's like playing Sonic the Hedgehog, and like you're on this like roll, like going so quick, and then you get hit by like a spike, and you're like, fuck.
You got to get into the flow of things.
Yeah, it's a very flowy game.
A lot of games are like that. You know, I feel like
Mirror's Edge. It's all about momentum.
I just remember that was a cool reveal too.
Yeah,
that was announced.
That was a very awesome.
That was very
fourth wall breaking.
I think that was announced with the Xbox One.
I think so. Yeah,
but they didn't release it.
I think they announced it that E3. I don't think they announced it at the event.
Right, they announced it, but that was like a month or two after.
Yeah.
Okay, so other stuff. I guess this is something. So Dark Souls 3 comes out in a week and a half.
It does.
How are you excited about that?
I am, because I've been watching more and more gameplay.
Yeah.
I'm learning more and more stuff about it, because like I said in I think 2 podcasts ago, I'm excited for it, and hearing that it is Dark Souls speed or Bloodborne speed, and you can be Bloodborne aggressive, but you'll be punished for it if you don't play smart, got me excited, because it's like, I love Bloodborne speed, don't like Dark Souls speed. The mesh of the two might make me really like Dark Souls.
Right.
But then I've been hearing a bunch of other things make me more excited about it, like weapons, which I've known for a while. They're called weapon arts. Mm-hmm. Each weapon has a special effect. But there's weapons you can get that make you like faster. There's like a dagger you can get where its weapon art makes you dash around like in Bloodborne.
That's pretty cool.
It's like awesome. It's like this is the last Souls game, I think. I think Miyazaki's not making any more. And
that's such that's an out of nowhere series.
It is.
Like
Dark Souls is great.
Demon Souls only came out like
2009.
2009?
Yeah.
So that's 5 games. I mean, Bloodborne I would consider Bloodborne a Souls game.
It is a Souls game.
Yeah.
People call it Soulsborne.
Right. Yeah. So 5 games in 7 years.
Yeah.
And
they're all critically acclaimed, amazing games.
They're all popular, immensely popular games. Like they're etched into the consciousness now.
Yeah. And there's a game just came out called, an indie game called Salt and Sanctuary. 2D Dark Souls game. Dark Souls verbatim.
And then it's ending. Yeah. Like Dark Souls 3 is ending, and I don't know if they're going to do any more Bloodborne.
If they do a Bloodborne sequel, it's not going to be by From Software. It's going to be some other.
So From Software's done.
They're done with Souls.
They're done with the whole genre.
I think Miyazaki said something about making a sci-fi game next.
That I'm excited for that. I'm definitely looking into their stuff, but that it's just so it's a bizarre thing to just out of nowhere 5 games in 7 years, and then
like, all right, see you later.
What?
They jumped in, made their impact, and they left. It's
like in 50 years, it's going to be like. You would imagine that's like such a short chapter in video game history, but it's like immensely. It's like a resurgence of the hard game. I feel like everyone.
That's why everyone loves Dark Souls so much. These games don't hold your hands. These games are you learn based on gameplay, and that's how it's designed. Yeah. And it's so cool.
There was something else recently that was like that, and I can't remember what it was. I forgot. Maybe
Dark Souls is like the Mad Max of games.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like it comes in, it helps out the system, and then it leaves.
Yeah,
it's like because before games were like kind of wonky. Dark Souls came in, people started copying it, making good games. They're like, all right, we did our job, and then they're leaving.
I remember what the connection I was making was I was reading something about Batman vs Superman, and it was somebody claimed or somebody said that they liked the way that it just dropped you into this universe and it felt lived in. Which, do you want to transition to talking about Batman vs Superman? Do
you want to finish your list, or do you want to talk about that right now?
That's in here. It's in the list.
All right. Starting now.
Okay.
Batman vs Superman review. We will start with spoiler-free, and then we'll dive into spoilers.
Well, I mean, I wasn't really going to do a review. It was going to be a discussion, so...
But let's just give our general thoughts.
Okay, there doesn't have to be any real spoiler talk.
So, who wants to go first?
I mean, I could start out, the whole, one of my main problems with the movie, which I admit, it's not one of those movies that I think is amazing. It's
definitely not.
There are a couple movies that I will argue to the death that they're good movies. People shit on Iron Man 2 a lot. I fucking love Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 is a great movie, and I will kill anyone who thinks otherwise. I think that the Iron Man movies get better as they go. I think Iron Man 2 is better than 1. I think 3 is better than all of them. I think 3 is my favorite. And people arguing with that, and that's fine. It's just my opinion. Batman vs. Superman is not a very good movie, but I really liked it. And one of the reasons is I agree with the just drops you in. I like the fact, I think what they're trying to do with the movie, it might feel cash grabby. It might feel really like lacks heart, I guess is some what people have said. Mm-hmm. But I think every decision they made about the universe is really interesting. I like the fact that it drops you into this universe, and Batman has been around for 20 years. I like the fact that people know who he is. I like the fact that Robin is presumably dead at this point. It's like people have known that since the trailers. Like you see the suit with the Joker on it. I like he's fought the Joker. I like that. Do the cameos count as spoilers, you think?
I would save that.
Okay. The cameos, it's like, that's the universe building, and it doesn't hold your hand through it. Like, I like that. On execution, it could have been done better, but I like that whole thing. I like the fact that they're trying something different. I'm kind of getting annoyed at, like, everyone saying, well, that's not Batman. Well, I don't think that really matters, because they're taking Batman and they're taking an interpretation of Batman, and that interpretation of Batman, that he's very violent and kills people, has been in the comics before. It's not like that's a new thing. They didn't do it well, because like you have to set up a reason why he's going to be killing people.
Exactly.
You have to set up a reason. You have to make it believable, and they could have done that. Like,
they could have. They didn't.
It could have been
2 lines.
It could have been 2 lines. It could have been a scene. It could have been anything, and it would have instantly made that movie more believable. And I think personally, Batman is a character that you can very easily make
relatable.
Want to kill. No, what I'm saying, Batman is a character that you can easily push over the edge.
Yeah.
He's very close to that.
He's really unstable.
I think that's like a big part of his character, and a huge part of why people love him is that he doesn't go over that edge.
Yeah.
He sticks to his guns. But I think that you could use trauma in his life to push him over that edge and him not care anymore.
Totally could, but they didn't do that.
They didn't do that. They didn't have any context, which is something I've been arguing. Like,
well, that's
you plop you into the universe, that's fine. Don't give the viewer context of like, or like, don't hold the viewer's hand, but you have to like, there has to be reasons. You can't just say Batman kills. Like, you can't. Just can't be. You can't accept that. You can't accept that Lex Luthor wants to kill Superman, because there's no reason for him to want to kill Superman in the movie. Like I said, it would have been a better movie if Man of Steel 2, Batman, and Wonder Woman had come out beforehand. Maybe not Wonder Woman, but the rest of them. But everything they did in there, just, it's so cool. I love the movie they were trying to make.
Yeah. And
that makes me like the movie they made. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My thoughts are very in the middle. This movie does so much bad stuff.
Yeah.
Where it's like, all right, the first half is a huge mess. It's all over the place. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? It's so choppy. The editing is literally awful.
It is.
The movie looks amazing. The cinematography is phenomenal. But all Zack Snyder films are like that. The second half is better. There's moments where I was like, holy shit, that was awesome. But there's still things that I hate to sound nitpicky, but if I'm watching a movie and I'm thinking about this while I'm watching it, I'm not immersed. It's not doing a good job of being a good movie, in my opinion. Like, I'll save it all for the spoilers, but the second part was way better than the first part. There was parts that I was like, holy shit, there's amazing. There's so many nuggets of just like awesomeness and like amazing movie that it's like, what happened? Like, this movie had so much potential, and it's just like, the movie was all right. It doesn't deserve all the hate that it's getting. No. It has like a 30% of Rotten Tomatoes. It doesn't deserve that at all. But there's also people that are like praising this movie, like, oh, it's so amazing, which is cool. Like, I get your opinion, but I feel like there's a difference between blindly loving something just because you're like a fanboy and like liking it and being like, oh, it has so many problems, but I like it. But to be like, oh, it's all wrong. You're just being a critic. Like, I hate when people say that. It's like, you can criticize a movie and still love it, but if you're just going to blindly love it because you're a fanboy, I don't think that's pretty, I don't really like that much.
I've been on that side. I'm a huge Marvel fan, and I'm willing to overlook a lot of their flaws because they do have some, and I'm willing to argue, like one other example is Black Widow in Age of Ultron. There's a lot of criticism that I don't think is valid because people are making arguments about the movie that I could get into that just I don't think exist. Like, they're making, that's a whole different conversation. I can go on and on about that. Yeah. But it's like, I don't know. People arguing against this movie. A lot of the reasons why people didn't like Batman vs Superman. I didn't care about the dark tone. I thought the dark tone was fine.
I don't mind the dark tone either.
I thought the fact that it wasn't funny at all was fine. I
didn't mind that either.
I thought the characterizations of the characters were cool and interesting and different, and it would have been worth exploring. I don't even mind that it tried to do so much, but it just... I think it would have been... I think that if we had gotten the R-rated director's cut, I think that's going to be a better version.
It's definitely going to be better.
Hopefully. I mean, I can't imagine...
Because you can't get worse.
I mean, like, even... like did you see the deleted scene that they released? Well, when we get into the spoilers, I'll talk about that.
You just want to finish up the non-spoiler discussion? Yeah. My final thoughts are, the movie's alright. It's not great. It's not terrible.
Would you see it again?
I would see it again. I would watch the director's cut. I wouldn't see this version again.
Okay.
I would see the new one. I would, despite everything I've just said, I would recommend it, though, because there are a lot of moments where it's like, whoa, that was fucking cool.
Every single frame of Wonder Woman.
This is in the trailer. Not spoiler. Once Wonder Woman shows up, when she drops down and her appearance, I was like, what? That gave me goosebumps.
That fucking guitar riff.
A lot of people don't like that. I thought it was cool. It was
awesome.
Cool.
Did your theater get cheer?
Mine didn't. I wanted them to because I was cheering on the inside. I saw it with my friend Casey, and we were both like...
You saw it like opening night.
I saw it 12:30 on Thursday, midnight.
Yeah. Our theater burst into like cheers.
Dude.
And the weird part was my theater, the atmosphere was a little weird because people, there were like, I feel like there were kids in there.
Mine didn't really have any kids.
My sister went to see it. She's 9. She got scared. So first of all, she didn't understand. Well, I don't really know because she was fidgeting the whole time. She didn't understand anything that was going on in the movie. She wanted to see it. I asked my dad if he wanted to see it. He's like, I had Trinity this weekend. I'll ask her. And she wanted to. She was really game for it. And she got, I don't know what it was. She got scared. Just the whole movie was kind of scared her. But
too dark and edgy.
Yeah, there were some little kids in our theater. There were like teenage girls behind us who wouldn't stop laughing the entire time. Oh. There were some weird cringy moments that I could understand them laughing, but they were like loud about it. But regardless, like the second fucking Wonder Woman, and the editing in that part is so great because they make it look like Superman is saving Batman. Yeah. And then it's Wonder Woman. You're like, yes!
Yeah, it was awesome.
The guitar riff. I listened to that song afterward too, and I got goosebumps.
It was a great moment. So see this movie because while there are a lot of downfalls, it does fall flat in a lot of areas. Yeah. It still has its moments where it kind of makes everything worth it in a way. Where I walked out of the movie being like, that was fucking awesome, but being like, but there's a lot wrong with it. And I was talking to my friend about it. She was like, oh, it was amazing. And I was like, was it though? Yeah. And I was being that guy. I hate being that guy, but it's like, I'm not going to lie and be like, yeah, it was amazing.
You want to have a conversation about it. Especially
I love talking. I'm a movie guy. I go to film school. I love talking about this stuff. So I was like criticizing it, but it's all stuff I thought of while watching the movie. It's not like I finished movies like, I can nitpick this and this and this. It's like while watching the movie, I thought this and it's like, what? Come on. And then I talk about it afterwards.
Which I mean, that's good and bad.
So see the movie. Yeah. It's worth seeing. It's definitely not great. It's not terrible either. It's just good. It's an alright movie. It's a mess.
It is,
but it's kind of worth it.
It's an okay mess. The only
for
thing,
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, the only way it would have been a failure for me is if I came out not excited about the future of their.
Oh, I'm definitely excited. I want to see the Flash. I want to see Wonder Woman.
Buy Wonder Woman tickets the fucking instant they go on sale.
Oh, dude, Wonder Woman was great. It was so cool.
I can't believe that she pulled it off so well. Everyone was like,
she looks like Wonder Woman. Yeah, it's great.
Like, she's not gonna be good Wonder Woman. That first picture of her released with her sword and shield, I was like, I'm so excited.
Dude, it's fun.
Okay, so should we?
What's your final thoughts?
That was my final thoughts. Right. I'm excited for. I pre-ordered the movie. I bought Man of Steel because I'm invested in the universe, and I that's just who I am.
They did a decent job of setting up the Justice League.
Yeah, it was decent. So I think we should do spoilers from here on out.
Spoilers now.
Okay. So the cameos were weird.
The cameos, in my opinion, were fucking dumb. The way they're introduced, they got introduced by an email.
Okay. So it would have been better. The cameos would have been better if they were put in.
They should have been integrated into the beginning of the movie.
Not even, or maybe even then, but not even that. They had 2 scenes with that fucking flash drive. Batman looks at Wonder Woman shit. They should have put in the Justice League stuff right then. With Wonder Woman.
I don't think they should have been shown via security footage.
Well, I mean, I understand that criticism, but I think it would have flowed better if they put it there instead of Diana Prince watching them afterward, after Bruce Wayne had those weird, like, chat email messages that he sent her.
Yeah.
I know, who are you?
That pissed me off too. She's scrolling through it like one sentence at a time to make it all dramatic. It's like, who the fuck reads like that?
Yeah, like they showed him they showed him being a detective like to a bit of the movie, and then he's just like.
That's another thing about this movie. Batman is fucking like kind of dumb in this movie. Because Batman's like the number one detective in the world, and you don't see that in this movie. He's just like this brute that kills everyone.
I guess,
and that's another complaint that I have.
I think Batman
killing people.
I think Batman is kind of cool. I think
Batman in this movie he's an awesome Batman. He looks cool. The way he fights is like the Arkham games is fucking awesome. But. And I know you just got done saying that you're cool with it. I hate the fact that he kills people. I even turned to my friend Casey next to me. I was like, during the fight scene when he's like killing people,
he's killing people with guns.
I'm like, I turned around. I'm like, Batman doesn't kill people. What are they doing?
It was an awesome fight scene.
It was cool. Like, it immediately it's like this is Batman's character. Like you said, there are integrations, but like Batman's main stigma is that he doesn't cross that line.
See,
it's the same thing with Daredevil. Like they have the ability to, sure, they know what they're doing. They can kill people in an instant, but they don't because they don't stoop that low.
But I think you can make it interesting because Batman has killed in the comics before and in other movies apparently. Like I don't know,
but
it's different.
The comics is fine because that's source material. But saying he killed in other movies, that's like. Doesn't make it okay, though.
No, I understand. Zack Snyder's like, well, he's killed in other movies, so I can make him kill.
Yeah,
Zack Snyder's an asshole.
I don't like that.
Regardless of
that doesn't make it all right.
Regardless of how I like the way they took the movie, I don't think Zack Snyder's a good director. I think they should kick him out. He's not a good.
He shouldn't.
He's not a good universe builder. But like, they're not going to go with this because they've already come out and said that I think the Joker killed Robin. I think they come out and confirmed.
They show his costume in the movie.
No, but I think they
and it said jokes on you.
It was hinted, but I think they confirmed it. There was a lot of rumors that Jason Todd, his former Robin, became the Joker.
Is the Joker.
I think they came out and said that wasn't the case. I don't know if they're lying or not. But, like, there are two ways that Batman killing would make sense in the context of what we were shown.
Yes.
One, if...
It just had to be a line. It had to be two lines. It just had to be Alfred at some point being like, you've changed. You never used to kill people. What's going on with you? And he's like, they killed Robin. I'm done caring.
Or not even that.
That's all it had to be.
Or like a glance. But, like, if Jason Todd was Joker, I can understand Batman getting to that point where he's been doing it for 20 years, nothing's changed in Gotham. He's just gotten to the point where he doesn't care anymore. And especially with Superman, like, he just gets to that extreme point. That would have been interesting. And the reason why Joker's still alive is because he's Jason Todd and he thinks that he can redeem him.
Yeah.
But the reason it doesn't work is because if Batman's okay with killing people, why is the Joker still fucking alive? Right? I guess you can make the argument that he started killing afterward, but if Batman is driven to kill, the Joker should be what drives him to kill.
Exactly. Like the point you just made, I listened to a podcast called The Weekly Planet by these guys, comicbookmovie.com. They're really good.
That is as good as a good website.
And their podcast is really funny. And they did a review of Superman, Batman, and what you just said is like, if Batman's gonna be killing people, what stops him from killing the Joker? Yeah. That just takes the whole
Suicide Squad
dilemma away.
Suicide Squad needs to be set in the past, otherwise it doesn't make any sense.
Suicide Squad has to justify Batman killing. They have to do that.
I hear Batman or Ben Affleck has written
his own Batman movie.
A Batman movie, which I haven't seen a lot of the movies that he's been in, but I hear like a few of the movies that he's actually had like a really heavy role in the last couple of years have been really great.
Yeah,
like,
Gone Girl was amazing.
He didn't write that. He was starring it, but he was good in it.
Yeah.
He wrote and directed a movie called The Town, which is a heist film, and there was another movie that was like a crime thriller.
Didn't he
I think
make Argo.
He directed that too, which was good. Do you see that?
Yeah, I haven't seen
that. Was
it.
A good movie. I think he won Best Director for that. He like the movies that they were referencing and the qualities they had makes him a really great choice for director and writer of a Batman movie. I'm really hoping that they explain that. I really hope
they have to. Like,
I feel like this movie could be redeemed by what comes after it.
Yeah, like I said in the spoiler-free version, like this movie is so broken up and like disjointed. Like nothing really flows. Yeah, in this movie, it's all over the place.
It needs some context and it needs flow, and it would have been really,
especially the first half. Like there's this, like that one. I remember the first time I thought that it was really disjointed is when you see Superman in the mountains and he's like talking to his ghost.
That was really weird.
I was like, because it just the scene just happens, and then it's over, and then there's no context that ever again. It's like, what the fuck was that? He just talks to his like dead dad. He's like, I miss you, dad, and that's it.
Yeah.
And first of all, what the hell is that? And second of all, why is he like dressed up in like the snow getup? Like he's Superman. He doesn't need that shit.
Well,
like,
I feel like he was trying to cover himself. Like if he was up there, but if he was up there and someone else saw him without any jackets on, they would immediately recognize him as Superman.
What would they do? Shoot him?
No, but I mean, like someone would know. You know, I can understand his costume, but where the fuck is his dad coming from?
Yeah, like
is he just hallucinating? Is he just imagining?
He just gives this like analogy of pie and cake, and
here's another thing.
That he goes away.
He gave that story about the flood, right?
Yeah.
How the waters flooded this farm, but
I was eating my cake while everyone was dying.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Here's the weird part about that is that the scene, and this is something I saw later on. The scene presents it as if that's the first time Clark is hearing the story. Yeah. But if it's a hallucination, he just made that story up.
Yeah.
Right?
Dude, it's so weird. I remember seeing that movie. That's the scene that made me be like, what's going on in this movie?
That was pretty late.
I know, but like the whole time because I was thinking it, I'm like, all right, this is happening now. Yeah. But that's the scene because it kind of like, because it was way more jarring than the rest of it. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
The first scene that I didn't have as much of an issue with it, but I could just tell from like an audience perspective, the nightmare sequence with Batman and the post-apocalyptic Krypton or Gotham or Metropolis, whatever that was. The second that started, everyone like you could just feel the atmosphere of the room
being
change.
Like, what the fuck?
Everyone in the theater, like you could almost hear everyone go, "What the fuck are we watching?" Yeah. No one had any idea what was going on.
Nobody knows who the villain is. The villain's Darkseid. Nobody fucking knows that.
But see, that's okay. Like.
I don't.
They should have.
I feel like if they had context.
They should have put it in there in a better way to make you know it was a dream before he woke up. Because the reason why it doesn't make any sense is because it's so separate from the rest of the movie that there's no one thought it was the actual movie. They just didn't know what was going on. And then he woke up, and then the Flash came immediately after that, which is a terrible choice because you can't do confusion to even more confusion.
Yeah,
the Flash would have been fine later on, like maybe near the end of the movie, if him showing up. I think that scene. I think him coming at all is still okay.
Yeah, I didn't mind the cameo, but like you said, it was in the wrong spot.
Yeah, it was definitely right after the nightmare was just terrible, and especially since you got the impression that he was dreaming that too.
Exactly. It's like, what the hell? Were those premonitions, or were they just weird dreams? Like,
apparently,
it was like some weird Inception dream within a dream deal. It's like, come on.
Apparently, there's still papers flying after he wakes up the second time, so it implies the Flash was there and he just got like knocked out for a second
from like the time rip.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's another thing, like. It's going to confuse so many people because if you don't know if the Flash can go through time, you're just like, who the fuck was that? Because he didn't look like the Flash. He was just wearing like red body armor. It looked like a Gundam suit.
I can understand that. Yeah, I can understand the criticisms behind setting up universes like with this mystery. Like you don't know what this means. Do you watch another movie? I can understand that. I kind of like it because it's like this mystery. Like, well, what is that? Like, I like that they're really overt about it, but it was in the wrong spot.
I got you.
And the nightmare sequence was just kind of weirdly handled.
Yeah.
Too.
Another thing I feel like I'm alone on this. I feel like I'm the only one that thinks this. The beginning, Batman's little origin story did not need to be there.
No,
sure, it was weird. It was well edited and it looked pretty, but it didn't need to be there. All the fucking random ass like close up reaction slow mo shots of like Lil Wayne being all like.
Yeah.
And it's like all zoomed in on his face and it's like going in slow motion. It's like, to me, that's so cringeworthy and laughable. And at first I was like, oh, I hope they don't show an origin story
which they didn't really.
No, I'm saying, well, everybody in Civil War is like, I hope they don't show Spider-Man's origin story. We all know the origin story. Everyone knows Batman's origin story too. It doesn't need to be in there. And it further emphasized my point when Batman's fighting Superman and he has a flashback to the origin story. It's like, then just have that. Don't have the beginning. Don't waste.
Or don't have the flashback.
Yeah, that was like a 15 to 20 minute scene.
One or the other.
They should have just had the flashback. Everybody knows what happens to his parents.
I guess so. But if they had it in the beginning...
And then they even made it weirder when the bats came out and he starts flying.
That was weird.
I was like...
That was the point where it was strange.
That was the beginning of the movie. And my first reaction was like, I was going like this, like chill, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
what is happening?
It's so...
The bats flying.
This movie had so many weird choices, but it also had so many amazing choices.
But see, again, I like what they were trying to go for. I like the fact that they set up early on that Batman is really troubled. Like, he's really he's not held together very well.
He's a very broken
he's having
Batman.
he's having really bad nightmares, like his mom's grave bleeding.
Yeah.
It was really fucking weird.
The giant bat
the
coming
nightmare
out.
sequence, he's really paranoid. I like that, but they didn't handle it well because it was just weird. Like even having his parents dying in there would have been fine, but it was almost fetishistic. I don't know. Like it's just like weird close-ups and it was too long. Like it could have been shorter. It could have had like an extended montage of like Batman's rise. Like that would have been cool. That would have been cool to show his parents dying, and then like a 5 or 10 minute montage of Batman in Gotham.
Yeah, and his like descent maybe
of like 20 years of like newspaper clippings or something, and then showing how he became a recluse and stopped showing up, and then showing how he went off the deep end and started killing people.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting.
It would have filled that time slot.
Yeah.
Because that intro, his origin story was like, it was long. It wasn't like a clip. It was so long.
You know what the weirdest part about that was? The 2 actors who played his parents are actually pretty famous. They're like big parts of The Walking Dead. And anyone who knows The Walking Dead would be like, that's Maggie from The Walking Dead.
And the one dude was in Watchmen.
And the one guy was in Watchmen, and he's the upcoming villain on The Walking Dead. He's the main bad guy. He's Negan in The Walking Dead. And it's like, why would you hire those actors if they're not doing anything?
They just die.
Someone made an interesting point.
Wait.
When there's a comic book arc called Flashpoint. I don't know if you've ever saw the movie.
I've seen the movie Flashpoint Paradox.
Yeah. So is there an alternate universe where Batman's
his dad becomes Batman?
So people were saying they might have hired those actors to play those characters in a future movie.
Maybe.
Like they have some contract that says if we ever make a Flashpoint movie, you have to come back as Batman and his wife has to come back as Joker. Yeah. Which would be fucking awesome.
There's also another thing I heard. There's another thing I heard that kind of is on par with like the whole Batman killing people. In the origin story for Batman, his dad like lunges at the killer.
That was weird.
And it's almost like that kind of implies that the killer killed them either because he was scared and kind of like flinched and shot them by accident, or he was just doing it in self-defense at that point.
Well,
maybe.
to be fair, he kills the dad and then he turns to the mom. Fucking with the weird necklace wrapped around it.
Yeah,
it was a murder.
That was also very weird. So it's kind of like that's kind of weird too that he like he fought back.
Yeah.
And
it's a lot of weird things.
There's a lot of weird decisions in this movie.
What do you think about Superman in general?
I don't mind Superman as a character.
In the movie.
Like, I like him. I feel like Henry Cavill is an amazing Superman. He does look pretty. He's like the perfect looking Superman.
The more I thought about it, the more I was okay with his broody, like kind of melodramatic Superman, because I mean, from his perspective, he had a really shitty dad who told him to kill people instead of saving them to keep his identity secret. Yeah. Like that was really weird in Man of Steel. You saw Man of Steel,
not kill people, let people die.
Which I mean, it's kind of the same thing when you think about it hard enough. But like he had to do that, and then he has to deal with people hating him.
Yeah, see, you know what I mean? That's what I understand. Where it's like he's trying to be like, I want to save you guys, and they're all like, get away, you're a monster, and it's like, what the fuck? And then and throughout the movie, it's like you can't catch a break. Like for example, when he's in the Capitol building, the Congress building.
Oh, that was a fucked up scene.
Yeah, and then the bomb goes off. He's sitting there, it's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, he's just
why?
He's like. And I mean, I think he says, I should have known, right? Later on, he says, I should have seen that.
Yeah, he's like, I should have seen the bomb. I was distracted.
And he didn't. He was distracted. And I like that characterization of him. What I don't understand is the weird plot with the fucking desert thing. Like, apparently people blamed him for the massacre in the desert with the Lex's goons and the weird bullets that Lois was investigating the whole time.
Well, the one thing people say is when Lois is being held hostage at gunpoint, Superman, instead of, running at full speed, grabbing the gun before he can react, and just pulling him away, or heating the gun up with heat vision so he drops the gun, he tackles him full force through a fucking wall. Okay, well, maybe 2 walls, but undoubtedly killing this man.
I don't think people were. In the context of the movie, I don't think that people were upset about that. Like the collective citizenship. Like in the context of the movie, there's this whole thing going on that there's like a weird. Like blame Superman for everyone dying. People were dead before he got there. Yeah, and also
that's nothing to make no sense. They were dead by bullets. Yeah, he doesn't carry guns.
Yeah,
that's nothing that makes no sense.
That was a weird thing to hold him accountable for. Like they should have just stuck with the Metropolis storyline. Exactly. And maybe kept that bullet thing in there. Like, well, why are these guys here?
I think the whole bullet thing didn't need to be there. It was pretty much be like, oh, LexCorp's corrupt. Like. See, I don't think it needed to be there.
Lex is general. Like, why does he hate Superman?
Exactly.
Why?
The only thing like I said, I heard it on the podcast again. The only thing that kind of makes sense is that throughout the movie, Lex has been saying how he hates God, and Superman is the closest thing to a god.
But they don't explain.
I guess
they don't really
exactly.
Go into that.
It's like implied.
This
whole movie is implied story.
Is fine, but you need to imply it to a point where people can get it without hearing someone talk about it first.
None of the characters really have any motivation.
Yeah,
maybe except for Batman, where I just want to stop Superman, and Superman's,
which is I understand.
Superman, exactly, I understand it too because he's like, oh, he's dangerous. But Superman's vendetta against Batman was like, oh, he's stopping these criminals and branding them, putting them in jail. It's like,
yeah.
So,
that was weird.
Isn't that what you're doing too? Aren't you like stopping criminals?
And also the branding thing was a little weird. Why would people kill someone who was branded with the back? Was he only branding like really bad people? That's the impression I got. I had the impression that I got was the two people he branded, because I think at that point he only branded 2.
And the one was about like human trafficking and stuff.
And the other guy was like a child molester.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I can understand. That's cool, Batman. Do that instead of kill people. Yeah. I don't know with that. Fucking kill them in jail.
Brand them?
Yeah, brand them in their ass.
Yeah.
I don't care. That's what people were weird about that. People are also weird about the way that they reconciled. Like, they were suddenly super friends, and they weren't.
Well, it's because... It's because of the mom thing, where it's like, how you know that name? And it's like, okay, let's be friends. Okay,
but see, it wasn't exactly that. And I can understand that, because this is the way I thought of it. So, the whole movie, Batman is telling Superman, or telling people who would listen to his crazy rants about Superman, that he says at one point, you're not brave, men are brave, or something like that. He doesn't see Superman as a human.
Exactly.
The moment that he realized that Superman has a mother who has the same name as his mother, it instantly humanizes Superman in his head. And I think at that point, maybe they don't convey it very well, but I think Batman has a turning point. He realizes that Superman isn't the enemy. He realizes Superman's human and he's been making mistakes and he's trying to do the best. And I think maybe he sees himself in Superman, the young vigilante of Gotham.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's where it's coming from. I didn't mind that. It was a little weird, oh, Martha. It's the problem that I have with that is fucking tell him beforehand, Superman.
Yeah.
And there were really cool parts.
That fight honestly didn't need to happen. It was kind of cool, but...
It was cool. I was reading up on it later on, and I forgot. I guess I had forgotten this, but there's a point where Batman's punching Superman in the face, and the noise that Batman is making when he punches Superman becomes more metallic as Superman regains his strength, until Superman's just looking really pissed off as he just knobs him in the face. Yeah, and it was in the trailer, but that fucking punch, it was he blocked. It was awesome, especially because the music dropped. It's boom, and he's like, and Superman's
what?
What the fuck?
It was really cool.
They needed to have a better reason why Superman couldn't tell Batman that Mark.
He tried,
but he didn't try at a certain point. He kept beating the shit out of him.
He lands and he's like, Bruce, we need to talk, and then he's like, no talking, and he's just
which is fine,
fighting.
But they need to keep they needed to keep Batman from stopping Superman to talk.
Perhaps it started off with Superman being cocky, and it's like, you can't stop me. And then once Batman pulls out the kryptonite, he's like, what's going on? And then it becomes a fight for his life.
Yeah.
Maybe
he's weak the whole time. I guess so. But there's not enough reasons.
Another thing that bothered me during that fight is the second hit with the kryptonite grenade was fucking dumb. Batman's reloading that gun, slow as shit. Superman's flying it and just takes it full in the face.
Superman would have
you could have easily fucking dodged that shit.
He's probably pissed at that point. And then, why the fuck wouldn't Superman give goddamn Wonder Woman that fucking spear?
Exactly. That's another thing.
She's super strong and she's not affected by fucking kryptonite.
Superman did not need to die. In fact, I don't think he should have. Everyone's like, oh, it was a ballsy move. And it was, but it didn't need to happen the way it happened. Why did, of all people, why did Superman pick up the spear? He's weak to kryptonite.
Yeah.
And so is fucking Doomsday.
How did Lois know the spear? She threw it into the river. She walks out. She sees Doomsday and she's like, I need it back. I need the spear. Wow. Did Batman telepathically communicate, or he was the only one who figured it out?
He said it to himself. He was like, we need Krypton.
And then Lois was like, I maybe having sex with Superman is giving me super hearing or something.
Yeah. What the fuck, dude? There's so much in this movie that doesn't make any sense.
It's just
stuff just happens.
Weird plot holes.
Stuff just happens because why wouldn't they?
Because the plot necessitated it.
It's
the death of Superman was. I think it's ballsy, and I like.
It was ballsy.
I like that they did that.
If they're going to do that, they should have done it a different way, and they shouldn't have brought him back immediately after.
They
shouldn't have shown. If you're going to kill Superman, don't tell the audience he's not dead.
He's gonna
at the end of the same movie. No, you can imply that, but have him just show up in another movie. Don't have the dirt particles rise. Be he's not really dead. That completely kills it. There's people that don't know Superman can live.
See, the problem is that I don't think anyone came out of that movie thinking, even if they didn't see the dirt particles or that wasn't in the movie, no one will come out of the movie thinking Superman's dead.
You never know.
Because
there might be people that don't know the plot of the Death of Superman.
I
the
guess.
Death and Return of
I
Superman.
guess.
But regardless,
so.
even if people don't think that, don't show it in the same movie, in like the same 15 minutes. It's like, just leave it there.
I guess they wanted to bring people in. They wanted to have you guessing what's next, even like more so than usual. So,
but you can guess what's next because Batman's talking to Wonder Woman and he's like, I'm going to get 7 people. And she's like, how do you know? And he's like, I have a feeling. Talking about the premonitions he's having. That's the guess right there. He's going to get the Justice League and then the movies are going to start.
I guess so.
Like, you don't need Superman.
There is a thing.
You don't need the dirt rising.
The whole premonition thing, and he has a feeling, leads into the deleted scene. So they released a deleted scene that takes place between Doomsday getting released from the Kryptonian ship and Lex Luthor getting captured and arrested.
Yeah.
When the feds come in to arrest him, he's sitting in the pool talking to this weird alien creature. Like it's like you know how the weird
octopus things?
No, not the thing in the ship, but like the way that like some of the holograms are made with the Kryptonian ships, and it's like the weird like black bead like kind of thing.
Yeah.
And how it can form into stuff. He's talking to like a weird alien creature that's holding 3 mother cubes, which is the thing that they make Cyborg out of in that one video. They're called mother cubes. They're linked to Darkseid. There's nothing being said. Like it's speaking some alien language, and then when they come in, it disappears, and he turns around, and like that in the movie would have gave people more insight into him. You know, the bell's been rung. Like it would have been a little more like he was talking to some alien creature. He knows something coming. Now, but with the movie as it is, like anyone who doesn't know, anyone who hasn't been following the movie for the last 3 years, be like, the fuck is he talking about?
Exactly.
Like, what does that mean? Like, the bell's been rung.
I didn't even know what that meant. I was like, it's just. Well, I knew what it meant in terms of like something's happening, but it's like, what?
Yeah.
Why?
I actually kind of liked Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor.
I didn't.
I thought
it was like cute and quirky, but
more context would have been needed. Like I said, like for most of it.
I think only if anybody was going to try the crazy kind of spastic Lex, I feel like Jesse Eisenberg is probably the only people that could have done that.
Yeah, and in a better movie, he would have been better.
Yeah.
So
if it was better written.
Yeah.
So
let's see. I don't think I have anything else on here.
Yeah, that's all I can really think of in terms of the movie. I feel like when it comes to like discussions, we're only talking about the negative stuff. Well, this movie has they're so prominent. Well, like this movie has a lot of good stuff in it though too. I feel like I touched on things that I liked, and I mean we're just saying what they could have done better. I think we're implying that we did like those parts, but we think that they could have been handled better. We liked where it was going. I mean, obviously Wonder Woman was fucking amazing. Yeah, this movie had so much potential. Wonder Woman was great. Ben Affleck was a really great Batman, I thought, and Henry Cavill did a pretty good Superman, and like I think Jesse Eisenberg did a pretty good Lex Luthor. I think the plot of the movie, like general beats, was pretty decent. I think it had an okay structure. I think they had okay arcs. You know what I mean in terms of that. Like you know, Superman didn't really have an arc, I guess. But I would like to reiterate that Wonder Woman was phenomenal. Wonder Woman was fucking amazing. Dude, the way she fought, like her battle cry was like, Hah! And she would like jump towards him, like, and just like cut him up. It was so cool. And then when she pulled out the lasso, I was like, oh my god, she fucking did it! Like the only other thing she could have possibly done is fly away in her invisible jet at the end. Yeah, just imagine that. Wonder Woman was great. Wonder Woman was really great. Highlight of the movie. Best part of the movie. Best part. Also, the one joke in the the when Batman saves. I guess by the capes. No, he's like, I'm from your signs. Like, the capes. Like, I thought that was funny. Another reason why Batman killing like bothered me is because it wasn't one of those things where like he kills, but he like subtly kills. Like he's kind of like making the gang members like unintentionally kill their other gang members through way of like cool martial arts. In the fight. Yeah, he's just like flat out murdering these guys. Like he flies in on like the Batwing and he just pulls out the machine guns and shoot the cars up and they explode. Instant death. In the Batmobile chase, he was fucking... Yeah, he was like tossing cars, making things blow up. He was tossing cars into other cars. Into people. Instant death. There's no surviving that. Yeah. And then when he gets into the warehouse and he's like fist fighting, he catches the guy's grenade, throws the grenade to the doorway, and then throws them towards the grenade. Yeah. What? It's so... And then he even uses guns. It's just like the way it was done. It pissed me off. I'm not even a huge Batman fan. Yeah. But it bothered me so bad because if there's one thing I know about Batman is that he just doesn't do that. If you're doing that, you need to make a context. Yeah. He just kills people and it's like, what? This doesn't... come on. It's like, and yeah, Batman might have killed people in previous movies. That doesn't make it okay.
No, I understand.
That means they messed up too.
Even in comics, like there's probably always context. Like, there's a reason behind it. And comics is a little bit easier to get away with the whole, like, DC especially, they have a lot of comics that take place in like a separate universe. Like there's the whole Dark Knight Returns, which is heavily based on where Batman's old and grizzled and Superman has become like a government like stooge, and Batman goes to kill him because he thinks he's being bad. And in that, he's violent and he kills people. But it's like, you understand going into that comic, it's an alternate universe. Like, I have a hard time explaining to people, even like my dad, who understands movies and stuff to a certain degree. I have a hard time explaining the fact that this isn't the same Batman as Batman Begins or the Dark Knight.
It's a different universe.
People don't really understand that.
It's the same thing with the different Spider-Mans between Andrew Garfield and Maguire and now Tom Holland. Yeah. They're different Spider-Mans.
Sometimes people don't understand. Like, no, he's like, I think I was talking to my dad, and he's like, yeah, it'd be really cool to see Spider-Man and this part and this and there. And I'm like, well, no, it's not. It's a different Spider-Man. It's totally different.
In this universe, that never happened.
And a lot of people don't understand that. So like, comics is okay because it's a little bit niche, and like they advertise that going in like alternate universe, or like you can understand it. But this, it's like, no, it is an alternate universe. Yeah, but people don't know that going in. You need to, like, people like us can I think are even less confused than people who didn't have an idea going into this who thought it was a Batman and Superman movie. You know what I mean? So
totally. So yeah, I can't really think of anything else to say. Those are all everything I liked, everything I didn't like. I
have a pre-order. I'm gonna watch the director's cut when it comes out.
I thought the Doomsday fight was pretty cool and flashy. Like Superman, like he was in his eye beams, and then it like clashed, and he was like it was like a Kamehameha beam struggle.
Doomsday was a little underwhelming. I feel like
the fight was cool though, especially with Wonder Woman.
I feel like they kind of.
I like how Batman didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
He just kind of like sat there.
Which that's what Batman would do. Yeah. Batman's totally like the tactical person.
Yeah, he was just like, I'm going to wait for him to get restrained and then shoot him with the Krypton grenade. And like, that's what he did. Yeah,
it just felt like they kind of like shoehorned the death of Superman storyline in there. Mm-hmm, like they wanted to adapt it. Like he knew Zack Snyder knew he wanted to end the movie with Superman dying because he said in interviews that he wanted Batman to be the one to set up Justice League, and that doesn't make any sense if Superman's in the picture because Superman would be the one setting up Justice League. So he needed to kill Superman or get him out of the way, and I guess that naturally led to, well, let's adapt the death of Superman. It's like, fine, but don't make that like the fucking last 30 minutes of the movie. You can't just adapt an entire comic plot line in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to make a Dark Knight Returns plot, make that Dark Knight Return, and then do Death of Superman later, or just do Death of Superman the entire time.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It was certainly a huge mess of a film.
Yeah, but it was a good mess for me. I like people I've talked to, like friends, have been like, how the fuck could you like that?
It was a decent mess of a film. I'm not going to praise it. I'm not going to talk shit on it. Everything I've said, all the complaints I have, I feel like are justified. I feel like I'm not nitpicking. I feel like watching movie, that's what I thought. It's like a lot of it was really disjointed and messy, but there were really cool parts too. I'm not hating on it. I'm not fanboying over it. It was just a movie. I'd recommend seeing it. It's just a movie.
I do have one thing to say kind of in relation to it, and it also relates to the Supergirl and Flash crossover that came on, which like it came the week after this movie, and it's like the exact opposite. It's amazing how tonally different these two things are. Supergirl and the Flash, they don't fight at all. They fucking love each other. They're just like, you're an alien, and she's like, yeah, I'm an alien, and she's like, you can do super speed. It's like, yeah, watch this. And literally, he goes and runs to get ice cream, and he brings ice cream back for everyone in the room, and Supergirl literally goes, look, like it's pointing to the ice cream, and it's like, that's so cool. That's neat. So my issues with it is, Batman vs Superman sets up the Justice League in ways that expects people to know who they are. All right, to a certain degree, especially with like the Flash cameo. Like it was weird, and it was just like out of nowhere, and they expect people to know this. Supergirl and the Flash literally crossed over two characters from two different networks. They brought a character from a network that already has 3 superhero shows in that universe and brought it to another channel, which is traditionally older viewers. CBS is traditionally older viewers or people who don't really know much.
Yeah.
The Flash explained the multiverse theory on Supergirl to the characters. He explained that he was from a different universe, and he had to set all that up. He did references to people in his show. He referenced the Pied Piper. He referenced Cisco. He referenced all of this to people who don't know anything about his show, right? If they can do all of that, Why the fuck can't Marvel have Daredevil and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Why the fuck can't Marvel reference any of its TV shows in its movie? Like, I got really mad. Like, I watched it and was like, this is really good. And they didn't pull any punches. They didn't make it too complicated. They didn't make it too simple. Why can't Daredevil just show up in this show, an other show? Why the fuck can't they show up? Why can't they even mention it? They don't even mention it at all. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I'm really upset about it.
Maybe.
I don't get it.
Maybe one day they will get bled together.
I don't get it. The fucking writers don't even know the shows exist. They don't even know the plot lines of the show. They literally went on the set of Civil War and asked the writers, what do you think about the Inhumans plotline in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? It ties directly into this. There's more superhero people coming into the world because the whole plot on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is that the Inhumans are a race of people in the comics and on the show now who were, their ancestors were genetically modified by the Kree, which are Ronan the Accuser from Guardians of the Galaxy, his race. Mm-hmm. They came to Earth, they experimented on people, they left. And, because it was a failure, I guess, to their eyes. But it left all their descendants with this gene that if you're exposed to this particular mist, you become superpowered. You, like, go into a cocoon, and if you're not inhuman, you die. If you are inhuman, you come out as superpowers. So one of the main characters, her name was Skye. She's now Daisy Johnson, which is a comic book character. She's Quake. She can control vibrations, and she's a superhero. At the end of one of the seasons, which is a spoiler for, like, last year, so don't listen if you're not caught up and you don't ever want to be, if you're planning on it. The mist got into like the fish supply and like got into fish oil. So people all over the world started erupting into Terrigenesis is what they call. And I don't think it was enough to kill people who weren't Inhumans, but it made people Inhumans. And there's millions of them. And the entire Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. plotline is dealing with these people who are emerging and having superpowers, some of them bad, some of them good, trying to help these people. And that's perfect for Civil War. Yeah. Because the whole plot is like these people getting out of control and controlling the damage that the superhero individuals have done, but it's all from the Avengers' point of view. They went on the set, like, how is this affecting the movie? And they're like, what are you talking about? It's like, the Inhumans plotline. It's like, we didn't even know they were doing that. It's like, what? They don't even have any awareness of this? It's like, I don't get it. I don't understand why DC can do it. DC can do it.
I don't know, man.
Oh my God.
I have no idea.
I don't get it. 2 different networks. Everything Marvel related is made by Disney. The Daredevil TV show is produced by ABC, which is where the rest of the shows come on. Why couldn't there be an episode with Coulson in it on Daredevil? Right?
I have no idea.
Why couldn't Daredevil be in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? It'd be a cool crossover episode.
It would be. Maybe one day, though. Maybe one day they'll open their eyes.
Oh, I hope so.
And be like, people want this really bad.
DC did it good when they did it well, and they said it's multiverse. Yeah. They said the movies are separate, the TV shows are separate, they're in the multiverse. So if they ever wanted to do it, they can cross over, but it makes sense if they don't. Yeah. As I remember when Man of Steel came out after Arrow, I think. When Man of Steel first came out, I remember the conversations around the movie saying, are they going to tie in with Arrow? Because Marvel's doing that. Is Arrow going to be in the same universe? And I said, or maybe it was the opposite. No, it was the opposite. Because they were asking if this new show was going to be the Man of Steel universe or it was taking place at the same time, whatever. And I said no, because you would have to reference one of them. Like, it wouldn't make any sense for Superman to have come into Metropolis and then leave and then not reference it on Arrow. They can't exist in the same universe. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which is also why I thought Batman randomly showing up would have been weird, because you'd think that they would have mentioned somewhere in Man of Steel the existence of Batman. Yeah. Like, oh, there's these superhero people. Why doesn't Batman take them out? You know what I mean? Like, just a joke or something. So whatever. It's a legitimacy to the universe, I guess. But Marvel should have just done that if they didn't want to cross over.
I agree.
That was a rant. Whatever.
That's fine, dude.
I had other stuff on here.
Speak from the heart.
Mitomo came out.
It
was funny. If you want, you don't have to look at the pictures.
I've been seeing pictures of that on Twitter.
The memes.
I don't really know anything about it, though.
I think it's funny. I think it's really funny. Quantum Break's been getting good reviews. I'm excited to play that one day.
I'm still on it.
What else? Did you hear about this crazy thing? This is just a short story. Nintendo, there was this PR person who was working on the localization of Nintendo games. And did you hear about the whole Fire Emblem thing that was going on?
No.
They were bringing Fire Emblem over, and there were some parts of it and that were localized to make it less racy. Like, there was this petting minigame in the original Japanese version of the new Fire Emblem game, where in your castle base you can have intimate relationships with your with your friends and like people in the game and develop relationships.
Yeah.
And there's like a petting mini game where you can like pet their face or something, and it's really weird. And Nintendo took it out of the localization because they figured North Americans wouldn't be okay with that. And people were like, "That's censorship. They're censoring the game." And it's like, no, they're not. Just like Monster Hunter, or no, there was some other game that they took. There was a boob slider. Like you can make the 13-year-old's character's boobs bigger, and that's okay in Japan apparently. Especially since it's a fictionalized character, that's fine over there. It's not okay over here. They took it out. Censorship. Oh, they're censoring the game.
People will cry over everything.
Okay, so here's the thing. There is this employee for the localization team at Nintendo who didn't work on the localization. She was the PR person who got singled out for this. She was harassed because she is an outspoken feminist on Twitter. People who was harassing her for like months over these two games. Saying, well, you clearly had something to do with it. You're instilling feminist ideals in Nintendo. The funny thing is she wrote a college essay. This is the funny part. She wrote a college essay that people drug up saying that she was for child pornography because she was saying that, she was arguing that Japanese ideals and values are different than North America and we shouldn't judge them the same way because they're a lot more loose with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like they have schoolgirl stuff in their media that's okay because it's fictionalized and that's okay over there, and she was arguing that we shouldn't hold them to the same standards, and they were using that. She was saying don't censor their games. They were using that as reasons why she was a child pornographer and advocate, and saying that Nintendo should fire them because they can't advocate child pornography.
What the fuck?
So Nintendo did fire her. Here's the thing. They fired her when this was happening, and they claim it's because she had a second job. And Nintendo doesn't like people who have second jobs. It doesn't clash with their corporate culture, which is a weird thing in and of itself.
Yeah.
But it was like this weird, like, backlash between, like censors, like, people were calling for censorship, but it wasn't actually censorship. And then Nintendo was like, oh, yeah, we'll fire her. And they didn't say anything for a few days. And then they were like, oh, no, she had a second job. It had nothing to do with that. We stand by our employees. But they didn't say anything. For that entire thing, they didn't ever say anything to help her out. They just let her get bombarded on Twitter by weird racists.
Fucking sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks where people get singing out like that, dude. Like, it's not really her fault, dude.
Yeah, and that kind of reminded me of, like, in a way, like, Nintendo being silent on the whole Kojima thing. Like, Japanese companies just don't talk to anyone.
Which they just don't want to get involved.
I guess so.
Fuck the drama, right?
Yeah, I guess.
That's an interesting situation. That's really stupid. I hate that, dude. People fucking bitch about everything. Everyone's getting triggered over everything, dude. People get triggered so easily.
The weird thing is, it's
trigger
like
warning right here.
The people who were calling it censorship are the people who are saying that that's what Nintendo was doing. They were appealing to the people who were getting triggered over these things, when really they were just adapting it to a different market. But these people were acting the same way, right? Yeah. They're like, oh, well, I don't like that. I'm going to harass people and I'm going to get them fired. And the funny part is, when she got fired, when people initially thought it was because of her feminist ideals, people on 4chan and this Reddit called Kotaku in Action, which hates Kotaku and its liberal media leanings, were like, dudes, that's not cool. So she actually got you just lost this girl her job. Like that's fucked up. Like her death threats on Twitter is one thing, but you got her fired, man. It's fucking I hate the online culture.
Dude, internet culture is a bunch of they're a bunch of crybabies.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Everyone is.
Just chill. Just do you. Just don't fuck it, dude.
Nintendo localizes it, buy the Japanese version.
Yeah. Yeah, get fucking port. Who cares?
Yeah.
Just fucking fuck it. Just
download it.
Just don't cry about it.
Yeah. So
nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear it.
Yeah. No one cares that you want your 13-year-old girl in your Monster Hunter game to have big boobs.
And your boob sizes, dude. Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah. Why do you care?
It's like
why do you care?
It's just a big hullabaloo. Yeah. It's just like, again, just shut up. All right. Shut up, yeah. You're just ruining it for everybody else. Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about?
Deadpool May 10th on Blu-ray.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's a lot sooner than I thought.
Deadpool just came out yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
It's been already over a month though.
I didn't see the video, but I saw a picture of him holding up in his costume, holding up a VHS tape of it, and then a record for the soundtrack, like announcing the release date.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it brings back VHS tapes already, because Guardians of the Galaxy brought back cassette tapes. They actually released cassette tape for the awesome mix.
My buddy Tyler has.
It'd be really great if Deadpool comes out in VHS. I think I'd buy it.
That'd be awesome.
I think I'd buy it and put it on the shelf or something.
That would be really cool.
I think that's it. That's literally all I had written down, which is a lot, but
it's been a long episode.
Yeah,
40 minutes, a lot.
40 minutes of Final Fantasy and 30 minutes of Batman vs Superman.
The big topics. They're the latest hot because of the media right now.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I feel like our conversation about stuff like Civil War is going to be a lot less because it's going to be like, that was an awesome movie.
Yeah, she's like, no complaints, really. Yeah. That's all.
Man, Captain America punched Iron Man. It was very cool.
Yeah, our Deadpool review was like 15 or 20 minutes, and it was just us being like, oh, it was so good. Yeah. Go see it. Like,
they did a really good job.
It's easier to talk about stuff when you can bitch about it.
Yeah, because
Because not only do you talk about why you don't like it, you also talk about what they could have done to improve it. It makes it way longer.
Because, like, positive and negative emotions are a weird thing. Because, like, when you like something, you can't really ever say, I mean, you can, there are certain things that you can explain why you like it, but a lot of things you just like it.
Yeah, you're just like, yeah, it really appealed to me. But when you don't like it, you're like, this is why I didn't like it.
When you like something, you don't know why. But when you don't like something, you know exactly the reason.
When you like something, that's when you dig deep and you write, like, for example, that video I'm writing about Bloodborne. I'm like 8 pages in. Yeah. And it's like, it's literally just me being like, oh, this game's so good. This is why. And I'm like, just sucking it off. It's like, that's when you have to dig deep inside yourself. Be like, why do I like this game? It's way harder than you.
What human part of me does it appeal to?
It's like, it's way harder than you'd think to talk about why you like something.
Oh, no, I can.
It's pretty hard, dude.
I think, should we wrap this up?
We should. It's been long.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has been the very
6th
episode of the Ravioli Castioli. I've been Steve.
I'm Chuck.
Thank you for watching. Goodbye.